Welcome to the Hbcu Move Makers podcast, where we highlight folks that are blazing the trail and making moves in Howard culture. Welcome to the Hbcu Move Maker podcast, where we highlight folks in Howard culture that are making moves and doing their thing. Today, got a very special guest, got a comedian, writer, internet sensation, internet troll.
Hey, I'll be trolling sometimes, man. I like it.
Howard University, man, School of C, Sierra Leone, right?
Yes, indeed. West Side.
DC Improv, Carolyn's, the world famous Comedy Store.
Yes,
It's a
indeed.
DC native though, man. We got Rallo Boykins, man. I've been trying to get this cat on the show for a minute now, bro. Your joints, man, on IG
Yeah.
and the stuff I've seen on YouTube. And I know you got joints on Spotify, man.
Listen, man.
This shit's hilarious, dog.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate you, taking the time to check out what a brother doing. Before, brother's still underground. So we need all the support we can get.
Oh, for sure, man. So talk to me, man, about a few things, man. I mean, most recently, I see you got the birth of a troll.
Yeah.
So what was the inspiration? What is that, and what's the inspiration behind that?
Well, mainly what I use Facebook for, because that's I post like shows and stuff on IG, the movie reviews. But in terms of Facebook posts, I use it to troll, man. I use it to troll, but not just to agitate people. I like to have a joke in there and a premise in there just so, people could think differently. Like I'm into, critical modes of thought. I feel like right now it's a lot of tribalism going on, one side or the other, and a lot of times things are a shade of gray. So I throw stuff out there to kind of upset, that kind of tribalism and all that good stuff. So that's how the album name came together. I was like, this was the birth of a troll. I started trolling like 2016, and then it bled into the stand-up, and then bam, comedy album.
So I was reading, and it says that you got into comedy because basically somebody dared you to do some stand up at a picnic. Is that correct?
Yeah, it wasn't a picnic.
A barbecue.
It was a barbecue. You call it a barbecue. 4th of July. Howard University. I think it might have been like summer vacation. I think we was off. My friend Steve Small Warner. I always been like the funny dude out the crew, out our group of friends, and he was like, man, you should try stand-up comedy. And I never even thought to do stand-up comedy before that. It was so crazy. I was like, damn, stand-up comedy?
I mean, so when he dared you to do this, I mean, did you have jokes already, or you were just coming off the dome?
Bro, I didn't have any jokes. That's like when I wrote like my first set of jokes. When I accepted the challenge to do that, set at the barbecue. I wrote some jokes. It's on YouTube. I performed for maybe like 7 minutes, and then after that it was a thing, man.
Damn. So what year is that when that happens? That's around.
08.
That was 08.
Yeah.
So that's 08, man. And then from then you got kind of bit by the comedy bug.
Yeah, man. I did the comedy show when Howard was still doing the homecoming comedy show. I did it that year, that fall. With who was on that ticket, man? I think Corey Holcomb may have been on there. I think Lavelle Crawford. Yeah, but it was crazy, man. Things move fast, man. So I was doing.
So you go from doing a barbecue, man, to pretty much the #1 homecoming. Back at the Mecca. What was the response like? Because Howard, man, they quick to boo.
It was so. I ain't even gonna lie. It wasn't great, but it wasn't like let's boo this nigga off the stage. It wasn't that either. It was so. I was like dead even, but I learned a lot, man, and it forced me to grow faster.
Yeah.
So
that's dope, man. So what I really, man, enjoy, I mean, I want to ask a bunch of questions, but like one of the things I really enjoy, I want to talk about, man, your movie critiques.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Because those joints to me, like, first of all, like, you hear dog, can you just do that for me real quick? Because that, like, the intro,
Oh, you want the intro?
yeah,
I don't know what you're doing today, but told me a matinee.
dog. All right. So my wife ain't go to Howard.
Yeah,
I mean, we literally watch these. We literally set up our weekend sometime based on how you review these films, and I swear they be exact to what you saying. From like, it was no black people in that whole. I can't even say it like you, but
yeah,
like you was talking about Karate Kid, like the last joint you was talking about Karate Kid, dog.
yeah.
Only one black dude in the whole movie.
Man, I lie to you not, man. But you
It
know, it
was
was my jam. I try to give people good advice. Of course, typically people aren't going to agree with everything, but I try to take, a bare bones critical analysis of whatever I'm watching and let you know how I view it from my perspective. And I give you reasons, but sometimes shit be controversial. Like when I did Black as Fuck. When I did
yeah.
Black as Fuck, a lot of people was like, okay, I see what you're saying. A lot of people was like, no, I loved it. So, it's
Yeah, I
all
think that was one that I reposted, and then like
yeah,
you said about that tribalism, people just start saying, "No, this is this," and then why you tearing down black stuff and blah
everything.
blah blah.
I tell people, look, bro, I'm either laughing or I'm not laughing. It's really that simple. Am I laughing or am I not laughing? If I'm not laughing and this is a comedy show, it's a sitcom or whatever you want to call it, automatically you in the meme mug category because I'm not laughing.
Man,
That's all.
but it's so when you review, like, how long does it take to you to for you to come up with like an official review? Do you just watch it one time?
Man, I just
Do
gotta
you
watch it.
like
Bro.
do you take notes when you're doing these?
I do. I do little snippets like, okay, that was funny. Oh, this kind of funny. Oh, that's a good ass scene. They was acting their ass off in that scene. And then I just cause you feel after I watch something, I feel a way right after. So that's why it's best that I do it right after before, I don't need no time to sleep it off or nothing like that.
Okay. So what are things you grading it by? Because I know obviously acting is one of them. Storyline.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the genre, right? So let's say I'm doing a horror movie. Like, am I scared? I don't scare easy. So am I uncomfortable? Do I gotta use the nightlight when I get home? Do I gotta use the nightlight? Am I looking over my shoulder walking to the car after the movies? Or if it's a comedy, like, am I laughing? Am I laughing from the diaphragm? Or am I like chuckling like, ha, that was a good one? You know what I'm saying? So that's like the range and how I come up with it. And here's the thing, like when I say something is all right, which is a half a head nod, that's not an indictment. It's okay to be all right. Like if you start messing with a shorty, right, and your friends be like, how she look? You be like, man, she all right. It's not an indictment. She not ugly. She all right. It's cool. I don't know, man.
But all right, so welcome to the Go Fish Village podcast. As a Chinese proverb says, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. At Go Fish, our goal is to teach individuals just like you how to build wealth through real estate. But how many, like, to get a perfect score in your book? Is that 2 head nods or 2.5 head
Three.
nods? 3 head
Perfect
nods.
score is 3.
So
So
what films have you given 3 head nods?
like something new or like something classic, or do it matter? Because like a movie like Three means I could watch it. It's a rewatch. Like you could keep watching it and it's still like heavy. Like Boys in the Hood, that's a 3 head nod movie. Because Furious was dropping gems. Come on, man. They were talking about gentrification. They were talking about a lot of shit in that movie. You could rewatch it and it's still a
Yeah.
robust experience.
Yeah, that's crazy. You're
You know
right.
what I'm saying?
You're
Love
right.
Jones, that's a 3 head nod movie. You got a little
Okay.
boo. The boo come to the crib. Come on, she got it. If she don't appreciate Love Jones, you probably shouldn't be messing with her.
So let's go a little bit lower. I think one that I think I might have reposted that people really wasn't feeling. I think was it Insecure? How many did you give Insecure?
Oh, this last season?
Yeah.
This last season, I might have did a head nod or a head nod and a half. But it
Okay,
wasn't
so
too,
that's a good one because
yeah.
it was a lot of people who are really insecure. They are really into who are into insecure. They wasn't feeling that rating
Mm-hmm.
that you gave, man. Like I remember when I first started posting, the crowd was just split. Like, yo, who the hell is who the hell he think he is? Why? And then there was other people on the other line like, yo, this dude is it's exactly right. But I love the dialogue that was created
Yeah, yeah,
as
yeah.
a result of your opinion.
Hundred
You know what I
percent.
mean?
100%.
Like, how do you feel like when you know, because it's not like you Siskel and Ebert or the New York Times or
Yeah.
Variety, but you know, it's like if you don't like it, don't follow. You know what I'm saying? But how do you feel when you see all these comments? You know,
You got listen. There's no such thing. All publicity is good publicity. You can't be sensitive. Ain't no way I'm a troll and I'm sensitive about people commenting. You gotta remove that. You gotta catch yourself. You gotta remove your ego. People talk crazy when they don't know you personally, so you can't take comments on the gram or any social media platform personally. You
hmm,
know what I'm saying? So I let it roll off my shoulder. I let people live, usually, you know. But something like Insecure, where you got a woman's perspective and a male's perspective, we're watching the same show, but we're viewing how the story unfolds differently. You know what I'm saying? Team Easter and Team Lawrence, that was dictated in the first two seasons, and I feel like um the last season just wasn't as good as the prior season.
hmm. No, that's right. I mean, I watched the last season. I thought it was fairly decent.
Yeah,
You know, in watching it. Um, I think I first got put on to you when you had reviewed the Ozark. Did you give Ozark 3?
I did. I think I did give Ozark and Snowfall. I think those was both three.
Yeah,
Those some good
yeah,
ass series, bro. God
good
damn,
ass series, bro.
that's like when
Good.
the that's when the pandemic first hit, and I was like, God damn, I need some shit to watch. I was like, oh, somebody gave me that password. I got on that Hulu. I got on that
Yeah,
Hulu. Yeah, man, Ozark was good.
man. So how did you? What made you just say, I'm gonna review movies? Because I don't think I've seen a comedian do this, to do that type of comedy, man, on a consistent basis, at least regarding movies.
What happened was because it's like in terms of stand up comedy is stand up comedy, but everybody doesn't have people busy. People can't come to shows as much as you would like. So I was like, well, how can I entertain, you know, outside of stand up and sketches? I do sketches here and there, but you need a whole team to put that together. I didn't want to do too much, like in terms of sketches. I didn't want to do too much like roast videos or things of that nature. But I was like, I like movies. Let me bring the movie game into comedy. And I think the first one I did was Black Panther, and rest in peace Chadwick, which is crazy. I think that's the first one I did, and it kind of just evolved. Like I wasn't even doing a jingle in the first
Damn.
Rallo reviews. Like the jingle came later. Uh, so yeah, man, people mess with it, they entertain, and I be telling people like I'm a critic. Like I'm a really. I want you to know if something's good because you don't be knowing what to watch sometimes. I want to help the community.
Damn. Yeah, rest in peace to Chadwick, man. So
Yeah, man.
so you wanted so that's ironic, man, that the first joint that you did was Black Panther. How many head nods did you get that one?
That's a good question. I don't even remember. I think it might have been two. I think it was two.
Yeah.
I feel like what made the movie great was just the blackness. The blackness is really what made like, damn, this is different, man. It was just black. They sprinkled the white people in there because they got to do that. But just the it was like an event. It was crazy. People came to the theater dressed up. It was wild. The movie was good. It was a solid movie.
Yeah. Do you think that movie is great if let's say if it's white, if it's a white movie? You
No,
know what I'm
definitely,
saying?
definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah.
Just
Damn.
as a movie in terms of story, in terms of action, definitely not. Definitely not. But the
Man.
blackness elevate everything. The blackness elevated it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. Because you saw that. I mean, it was. I would tell people that didn't go to HBCU. I was like, yo, this is what it was like at Howard. You know what I mean? It was. I mean, this is what homecoming is like. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, when it comes to your comedy, man, I know that everything ain't always been sweet and funny, man. I know have you ever bombed a show before?
Like flat out bomb. I think I bombed from some white people when I first started doing white audiences. Because it's here's the thing with this is what trips up a lot of black comedians, right? I don't know your particular background, but when you grow up and I grew up in a baby ghetto. Like it's the hood, but it ain't like Chicago, it ain't Chirac. You know what I'm saying? I grew up
Yeah,
in a baby ghetto. Like if you was outside, you could get into some shit, but it's not gonna come to your front door. You know what I mean? So when you coming from that environment, and in terms of the schools, like my schools was mixed. I ain't go to like fucking lean on me public school. I ain't go to that school. So it was mixed, but you learn like the code switching thing is something that's ingrained. You don't even know you being programmed to speak to white people differently than you speak to people in your neighborhood or your peers. So like as a comedian, when you start doing white audiences, you have to figure out how to connect. You got to shut that code switch and shit off so you could be your authentic self. So when I was first, getting into doing white audiences, I was like, I'm not being myself. So the comedy didn't translate. You know what I'm saying? It was off. And when you bomb in front of white people, they not like black people ruthless. Like I seen motherfuckers get booed at Howard. At Howard, you get
yeah,
booed. But
yeah,
white people just be quiet and uncomfortable. Kind of like, when they see you in the street and they don't want to speak, it'd be like that. But
yeah.
it wasn't that
I
bad.
used to work at Crampton, man, and so I saw like Dolomite. I saw something like Dolomite came, man, and he got booed
That's
at
crazy.
uh at
That don't make
Crampton,
sense.
and he was already famous, man. I was like, damn. But he was being, it's a lot of swear words, and I think he said something about a gay person or
Mhm.
something. I mean, it was still a time where you could kind of say that type of thing, but it was also a time when it was like, all right, that's not funny. You know what I'm saying? It was like the way he said it. If Dave Chappelle says a gay joke, it's like it's funny. You know what I'm saying? Gay people laugh,
Yeah, yeah,
but the
yeah.
way he was saying it was just so like offensive. You know what I'm
Yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah.
I mean, how do you tell jokes in 2020 now, man? When with cancel culture and you know and all of that.
The identity, I would be lying if I ain't say identity politics didn't play a significant role in comedy, right? Uh uh Let me put a queer black woman could say a joke and I could say the same joke. It's not going to be received the same. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you just gotta recognize that and you gotta ask yourself, man, how good is this joke? Can I pull some shit like Chappelle got? He's bringing a brand with him. We've seen the Chappelle show. We've grown up with Chappelle. We know his like point of view. We know what direction he coming from with his material. We know he's not a stupid dude. Like he's an intellectual. So he has he gets the benefit of the doubt a lot of the times. But if you're an unknown face and you trying to pull off some controversial shit, it could go left. You gotta ask yourself, is it worth it? You
Damn.
know what I'm saying? So that's all.
So is it easy to when you at this point in your career, like when you go in front of when you look at the crowd, like are you thinking like, man, this is a black crowd, this is a white crowd, or you just like, hey, I'm gonna do me, and if they laugh, they laugh.
I do me. I do me for the most part, but you gotta read the room. You definitely gotta read. I could do the same joke in a black room, in a white room, and it won't go over as well in a white room because that white crowd might be sensitive to some shit. You know what I'm saying? I've done a Trump joke, and it was a Trump supporter in the audience this one time, and she got hot. So you can do what you want. You just got to be ready to roll with the punches in terms of how it's received by the audience. But I try to be my authentic self wherever I'm at, wherever I'm performing.
So how can people get offended if they coming to see you at a comedy show? They know you're gonna say
Uh,
some
people get
crazy shit.
people get offended, my buddy. They get offended, man. Comedy's different now, man. Comedy, identity politics, and it has molded, it has shaped the game. But you got to be funny, man. You got to be funny.
Man, what do you think about like when people talk about Kevin Hart and they say, man, he got a team. He's really not that funny. He doesn't write his own jokes. As a comedian, are you cool with comics not writing their own jokes, or where do you lean when it comes to that?
I mean, I wouldn't say I'm not cool with it, but you gotta respect a comic who comes up with his own material just more than a comic who has writers. For me, that's like it's the same with music. If you rap and you write all your own songs and you perform them, or if you're a vocalist and you write your songs and perform, I just have more respect for you than if somebody's writing your raps. You know what I'm saying? That's just me personally, but people don't know how hard comedy is. Like I just did my album, about 40 minute album. And man, a lot of those jokes I have been crafting for years. Some of those jokes I wrote in 2014. Some of them jokes I wrote in like 2015. Some of those jokes were from 2018. So it's hard to do comedy. So if you got writers, I get it. I get it, man, because this shit is difficult, man.
Or what if it's like, okay, you started on your own, but to have that type of longevity and to like, Kevin Hart is making millions and millions of dollars, so I
100%.
would say he's kind of disconnected from what might resonate with his audience 10 years ago,
This is
you
true.
know. So he kind of got it like borrow or get writers and all of that.
I ain't mad at him. You gotta do what you gotta do to keep the bills paid. You gotta do it. That's why I'm not gonna talk it. But you gotta do what you gotta do. In the beginning, though, I think most people are writing their own material. But and like I'm sure Drake got writers. That whole Drake thing came out. It comes a point in your career. It's evolution. Sometimes you evolve, and now it's necessary to get a little help. You know why? I don't I don't know if I would want to make it difficult on myself, you know, to keep the train going because that just stresses you out. So I get it, but I just feel good knowing that, man, this is all the shit I came up with myself. Like I put the pen to the paper, I performed it, I refined it, and it's all me. So, that feels good. It does.
So where do your ideas come from?
Man, life, man. I mean, if you look at most of the stuff I talk about, it's like it's social commentary, race relations, relationships, family. It like stays under that umbrella. So those are typically, the topics I'm talking about. So sometimes shit just happen in life and it's hilarious, man. And you just have to, as a comedian, you figure a way to present it to the audience so they can relive it with you. Like if I talk about the first time I bust down a cougar, I gotta walk you through it. I'm at the cougar house. I'm knocking on the door. I'm like, damn, this house smell funny. Like I walk you through that. I walk you down to when I got the panties on. I'm looking at I walk you through it, and that's where the comedy comes from. I want you to relive it with me, and those be the best jokes. Best jokes.
So what are some of the elements? Because a lot of time, man, I feel like you got funny people
Mm,
who probably can't be comedians. You know what
mm,
I mean? Like we all know cats that are funny. Like I'm sure you know cats that are funny. Then they might get on stage and they may not know how to properly like set a joke up and
mm,
then knock it out the park.
yeah,
Like for you, like how you just said, like you knocking on the door.
yeah,
You like
yeah,
this
yeah.
smell funny. So now you giving me a whole. You telling the story. You know what
100%.
I'm saying? And I'm
Yeah,
just waiting for you to just blow it out. Like what are the essential elements of of a joke for you?
Well, from a joke, well, man, when I've decided, because I've been funny, like I was the funny one since elementary school. That's how I communicate, by being funny. So that's like the essence of it, right? But then the art of comedy and stand up is a craft, like singing is a craft. You know what I'm saying? Like I know what you're doing. I could do that in the beginning, but can I sing a whole song? No, that's a craft. I gotta, you gotta work towards that. So like when I started, I got 2 comedy books on stand-up comedy um that helped me like formulate the thoughts. Cause what you wanna do is you wanna take the thoughts and you wanna organize them in a way where when you're telling a joke, it's concise. So you're not on stage rambling. Like that's the number one thing. You don't want to ramble. Every word has to be intentional. Like
Yeah.
that's the foundation. So yeah, man, this book called Comic Insights by Franklin Ajay. Shout out to him. That book was very instrumental. And then it's like trial and error, man. You try it, oh, that don't work. Maybe I should say it this way. All right, that don't work. And then, you just take it from there.
And even on the birth of a troll, man, you made yourself purple.
I did. Yeah. I be
So
feeling
it's like you kind of like you kind of made it so that like nobody could roast you. Like it's hard. Like you like, hey, I'm putting myself out there. So whatever joke you had about me, like I'm a if you whatever black joke you had, I'm gonna make myself purple.
yeah,
If you saying my hair nappy, I'm about to put a pick in it. Like you just
yeah,
took
yeah,
it
yeah.
to the next level. Like I'm about to troll you. You're not trolling me.
100%. I wanted to go with the theme, man. Like with comedy, man, I just want to do things differently, man. Like a lot of people got a comedy album, they on stage and they got the mic, and that's cool. I just want to be different, man. Like for me right now, comedy is about having fun and getting money, man. That's what I want to do with it. If I can have fun, make people laugh, and get money, that's it. And independence come with freedom, man. You can do what you want. I love that. The artist who put it together, I met at one of my shows. So, I got to collab with another black
Oh
person.
really?
Yeah, it was cool, man.
So have you ever gotten approached to get signed or anything like that?
I've been in the talks with people, but independence is the way to go right now, bro. Like this whole black ownership, I feel like that's the era we in right now. And you really have the tools to grow organically so that when you do sign, make it worth your while. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Make it worth your while. And my main thing is I just want to keep my money in the black community, brother. That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do, man.
What's like the best bit you ever written?
Man. My first bit that was like killing everywhere is probably my cocoa butter bit. I did it on the album, but that was like my first bit. That was just people loved it. People love that bit. I think that was the one.
What is it, man? I know you probably hate when people be like, tell a joke.
What I say? I'm trying to see how I walk in. No, I say I just go into the cocoa butter because like black we can't use regular lotion don't have enough nutrients for the melanin like the jergens. Like you could use it, but if you want to be at your best black self, if you want your skin looking like rich soil, you gotta use the butters, man. You gotta use an assortment of butters, man. And I heat mine in a cauldron every morning. I put it in the cauldron. I stir it to start to smell like cookies, and that's when I know I'm ready to start my day. And then you rub it on there. Sometimes you put too much on there, you can't even turn the doorknob to get out your house. You be slipping. You're like, oh shit, I can't get out. And then yeah, man, the cocoa butter bit probably like one of my favorite bits, man.
Yeah, I seen that one, man. I wish I could recall them off the top of my head. I remember one you was talking about people killing each other over shoes.
Oh man, that's
Uh
over, man. Damn, yeah, that's the old. Yeah, somebody got shot over some phone posits. I was like, God damn.
yeah,
Used to
stupid
die for
nonsense,
it.
man.
Oh, me? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, what do you think? Obviously you college educated.
Mhm.
You still working 9 to 5. Has it? What has stopped you from saying, I'm gonna do this full time?
Oh man, I don't want to struggle, man. I like having money coming in. Like you hear a lot of not a lot, but every once in a while, you hear Steve Harvey, and it's like, man, my wife was driving me to shows. We was living out the car, and I ain't know what we was eating. We was eating refried beans for months. Like, ah, man, I don't want that story, man. And I feel like, there's a beauty in, hitting rock bottom before you come up. But I've never been that way, man. I've always been a slow and steady wins the race, make smart decisions, take smart risks. You know what I'm saying? So the way things are now, like you put out content, you grow your base, you keep grinding. You don't have to be destitute before you'll come up. That's just how I see it.
Hmm.
I've seen growth. I've gotten some big opportunities for real, for real. So
Oh yeah.
when I get the big bag, then you'll know it's real.
What I mean, how much in terms of big opportunities? Like, what's like the biggest crowd or biggest opportunity you say you've gotten?
Biggest crowd. I mean, I did Constitution Hall with D. Ray Davis. D. Ray Davis. Who else was on that show? I think Anthony Anderson was hosting. There's some other. I forget. I forget, man. Honestly, man, the shit blends in, bro.
Yeah.
Like, when you've been doing comedy for a while, like I started to realize, like I forget some years that I met people. Um, there's some comedians I started with that kind of like disappear. So stuff it comes and goes. I had a Wildin' Out audition, that was cool. So stuff comes, man, and then stuff falls through. You taping for a Netflix show, and then pandemic hit. Like you just got
Oh,
roll.
word. You was taping for the Netflix show.
Yeah, man, they was working on it. They was producing it. We was about to get ready to start shooting, and then stand still.
Damn.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I don't trip, man, because for me, I take a lot of pride in just being good at what I do, man, and,
Yeah.
and having fun with it. And I know the break gonna come, and I'm not hurting right now, so I'm really not tripping.
What do you think about did you follow the thing with Monique and Netflix?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I
What
follow.
was your thoughts on the stance that she took and
Man,
then
listen,
calling folks out?
I don't know about the calling folks out because people try to they'll jam you up behind the scenes, but uh, black women get marginalized, man, just in general. So entertainment is no exception to that. If there's only one, they say there's only like one superstar black male comedian at a time or in a
Yeah.
decade or whatever, then I guess it's one black female comedian that hit superstar level every 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like who I mean, Tiffany Haddish right now is getting shine, but before Tiffany Haddish, who was like that signature, you know, black woman who was a comedian that was on that level in terms of our peer group. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if
Yeah.
anybody, you look at Monique resume, like she should have been offered more than 500 bands, man.
Yeah.
So you got at some point, she took the bullet for a lot of sisters that's gonna come after her. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gotta not take the short stack, you know what I'm saying? And shout out to Monique.
It's interesting you brought up Tiffany Haddish, man. That's another person that some comedians feel free to just criticize her of not being funny.
Hey man,
You know what
listen.
I mean?
Man, look, to that I say, if you want me to tell you about some sisters that's hilarious, I can do that all day. I think that's where it come from. Like me personally, I know sisters that I would like to see have specials on Netflix. I could name probably 10 off the top of my head. And for whatever reason, how the industry works, they don't get the shine. So I get, why people would criticize Tiffany. Like if I ask a lot of my homegirls, they don't like the comedy. It's not their fault. If they don't like it, they don't like it. It gets tricky when you're in the same field and you speaking about somebody in your field. It gets tricky, but I mean, you can't say they not valid. I mean, everybody not funny to everybody, but I know some funny sisters, bro.
Yeah.
I know some funny sisters that
So
like.
so does it take, I guess, like white people to take an interest in a black comic for a comic to take that next step of really making bread like that?
I wouldn't say that per se. I mean, if you look at some of your internet sensations, you look at Jess Hilarious is somebody that comes to mind. I don't know who her representation is, but she kind of
Or
built her base.
or like a little Duval?
Yeah, you look at Lil Duval, you look at DC Young Fly. I mean, they built their base independently. I don't know if they went to white people to get the bag, but you could come up on your own. You really can come up on your own. It's just if white people come to you with a bag, it just makes it easier, But then you in bed with that relationship, so it
Yeah.
just depends on what type of routes you want to take with your career. But people are doing it, bro.
Is it with comedy? I'm sure like when you first started, you probably got hella jokes, hella material. But is it different when people expect you to make them laugh versus when you starting and they like and you're like a relative unknown?
Yeah, it is different, but if you a real good comedian, you rise to the occasion. Like me, for the most part, I know it's gonna go well because I'm really good, man. I'm good at comedy. Like it's a thing in the comedy community where comedians will be offended when somebody says they're not funny, right? There's a thing. It's like you've seen people criticize Kevin Hart, you've seen people criticize Tiffany Haddish, but a nigga like Chappelle, if you tell Chappelle he's not funny, he gonna look at you like you crazy, like whatever. So, um, I don't know. Like I know I'm gonna do well for the most part, and if it's not gonna go well, I'll be like, all right, it's not gonna go well, but it's not. It has nothing to do with me. It's just the situation is just set for a nigga to struggle, and sometimes like I've done shows that like it's a hip hop variety show. And they like, all right, we want some comedy at the hip hop variety show. And I get there, they done let 15 people come up there and rap. The show been going for 2 hours. The mic got a short in it. And then they were like, all right, we about to bring up a comedian. So already my energy is like, these niggas is
Man,
loud.
so who?
Yeah. You said what?
No, I was gonna say, to that. I mean, I guess that probably comes with paying your dues, man, and having to when they trying to stack the deck with all of the talent,
Yeah, but
possible.
the thing is, I go off vibes and emotions, and I like having fun. So if I get to an event and it's not what we agreed on before, it put me in a bad spirit. So I'm getting on stage not in a fun spirit. Like I wanna make fun of your event, but that's not professional. I'm not going. You invited me to do your show. I'm not going to get up there and shit on your show for my. Even though that would be what's best for the crowd, it's not professional. So you got to balance the professionalism with the craft, and sometimes shit don't work out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean, do you crack jokes in real life or like serious situations?
yeah, I do get in trouble for that sometimes. I do crack jokes, but everybody don't get my funny spirit, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. Sometimes I just be chilling. Sometimes I chill. Like you will run into some comedians that they're on. It looks like they're being on all the time. They always cracking jokes. I'm not like that, man. I gotta recharge the battery.
Yeah.
Like I ain't tell no jokes today because I knew I had to come. I do this interview and give y'all Rallo. So today I was just chilling the whole day, but I knew I was gonna come to HU Move Makers and I was gonna have to get that energy. So I saved it.
Yeah. No, that's dope. That's dope, man. So growing up, man, you grew up in Hyattsville, Maryland.
Highsville,
Um,
baby ghetto.
why? What made you come to Howard, man?
Man, I didn't want to go out of state, man, because it's like it was in the baby ghetto. So I ain't get to do as much growing up as I would like to. I got two West African parents, and they was like, "Nigga, we're not gonna have you selling drugs. We know we leave you outside. You gonna sell some drugs?" I'm like, I would have. So they was like, they kept it tight on me. So I was like, okay, let me be far. No, let me go out. Let me leave the crib, but not in fucking Atlanta or across the country. So I was like, man, let me come to HU.
Yeah.
It was crazy, man. It was so I only applied to like 3 schools. And HU denied me. I had to apply at first I applied to the School of Engineering. They was like, nigga, not with them grades. I was like, you right. You right. Then I did arts and science. I got in there undecided. And it was crazy, man. HU was wonderful. I miss those years.
So with having two, you said West African.
Yeah, Sierra Leone.
Yeah, my I got some homies. They from West Africa, Nigeria,
Okay.
and they say Nigerian parents they want you to be a doctor, lawyer, engineer. Man, did you have any of that pressure?
Nah, they ain't they said it. It would have had been nice if I had did that, but it wasn't like Nigerian. Nigerian's different. They aggressive. My parents was just like, man, don't be a loser. That was their main thing. Don't be a loser. And it worked out. I ain't a loser. I ain't a doctor either, but yeah, but
But
I wasn't. Come on, man. You gotta be built. I think you gotta be built for like medical school and all that shit. And my attention span too short. It wouldn't have worked out.
no, that's facts, man. When I came to Howard, I was a bio major,
That's crazy.
and I ain't take no biology classes, bro. I switched right over to the School of Business. I just went to the School of B, looked at the scheme, and I just started taking those classes. And then 2 years later, I just transferred into the School of B. But
Smart
yeah. So when you got to Howard, what year was that?
guy. 05? Yeah.
So you get to Howard in '05. What's the vibe like, man, in '05 when you get there?
Man, listen, man. Loose straights. This was when we was moving into skinny, man. It was a revolutionary time. We still had flip phones. Your boy had a razor. So I'm trying to paint the picture. We got loose straights. We got flip phones. We got everybody wearing Pradas. That was the dress shoe. It was crazy. Howard was dangerous
Damn.
too. You can get robbed at that time in Howard. You can get
Yeah, I
caught.
think when I was there, man, as long as you had a white tee and some Tims, that was like the dress code, or a jersey if you was a dude.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You ain't had to do much.
You didn't. But I watched. I was at Howard long enough to watch everything change, man. The jeans got smaller every summer.
Yeah,
Every summer the jeans got tighter. It was crazy.
bro. I remember when I came out in '03, and I think right after that, Kanye West kind of like blew up. And I remember coming back to campus, and Cass had like pink polos and two, 3 pair of polo shirts on at one time. It was just a whole different energy, man. Because when I was there, it was like Jay-Z was like the influencer. So
Really?
it was baggy shirts. I mean, it was throwback jerseys, fitted hats. You know what I mean? That
Uh,
that whole thing. Tim's. Then when Kanye came, and I'm from Chicago, man. When he came, I got back to Howard. It was just totally different, bro. Like totally different.
Howard be ahead of the trend, man. It's crazy. You don't
Yeah,
realize it when you there, but it was crazy, man. Howard, I probably wouldn't be doing comedy if it wasn't for Howard, bro. I ain't even gonna lie, cause my homeboy really pushed me to do that first show. So am I
man.
am I doing comedy if I ain't go to Howard? I don't know.
Damn, but you probably not because you said you never even gave it a thought.
Never gave it a thought, bro.
I
Never.
mean, so growing up, with your parents like, yo, you funny? Like,
No,
was anybody like your teachers, like any adults telling
man.
you funny?
It's crazy. Yeah, they tell you funny, but to pursue comedy as a career, that's different. Nobody's telling you to do that shit because it's stupid, really. Nobody is telling you to do that. It's just gotta be. It's a thing that you're passionate about, and you gotta believe, man. Belief will bring it'll bring you through a lot of stuff. Like just the belief in myself has seen me in this game progress for like 10 plus years. It's crazy.
So, when you first start doing like getting shows, man, like what's the pay like as a when you first starting out, man? Like when you talk about the struggle.
Man, that pay is trash, brother. I'm not gonna lie. The pay, you not getting money. You don't start getting money in comedy till maybe like your 8th year. Depending, sometimes you hit a lick. Sometimes you hit a lick and you get an opportunity and you could get some early bands, but a lot of it is hustling. You gotta hustle a lot. You figure if you're doing comedy club, let's say you at the stage where you featuring at a comedy club, you probably could get anywhere from like 500 to 1,000 that weekend, right? Which is it's not great, but I mean for just 2 hours of work, a night, it's not that bad. But to get to that level is a lot of being better than your peers and a lot of networking. The funniest, man, I know the funniest people ain't on Netflix, bro. I'll just say it like that. The funniest
So what
people.
about when you first started it? So if that's something, $500 a week, you could make a living. It's still not a ton of money, but I guess a single person could support themselves off of that. But what about when you first start? Are you getting paid at all when you first start?
Oh man, not really. You might get 20 here,
$20?
50 there. Yeah, you might get 20 here, 50 there, 75 here, but you're not making no money, bro.
Wow.
You're not making no money. That's like if you a singer. Let's say, man, I'm gonna be a singer or I'm gonna be a rapper. Like, where you getting your bread? Unless you dropping projects and you selling your projects, but starting off comedy, you not good enough to have a project.
I guess you probably would have to write for somebody to get paid or something. But damn, I didn't know it was that bad. 20 and
Comedians are
$15.
the biggest artists you ever listen. If you see a nigga who's a comedian and he got a girl holding him down, that's a good black woman. She's a trooper. She is a trooper. So all the sisters that's with comedians, hey, kudos, because it's not a fun life.
Damn. Damn. So you never gave it a thought doing it full time.
No, of course I'm giving it a thought. You got to build it out. I need my situation to be right. I know a lot of people that's doing it full time, and they look miserable, man, because they didn't put themselves in the position, where because full time means essentially you have someone booking your shows. Essentially, um, I don't. Well, that's what it means to me. I don't know a lot of people full time that's working completely independently. So you got to make sure that partnership, whoever you partner with, it works for you on a career level and on a personal level.
I mean, do you have a manager?
Nah, I self manage.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at this point, because you do have a full time job aside from, you got a full time job, I guess it's easier to turn down stuff that you feel like is not worth your time. Is that accurate?
100%. I mean, with my
Yeah.
situation, if I got to go get money on the weekend, like I do a lot of clubs. So, I work my job and then they might say, hey, we need you at this comedy club from Thursday to Sunday. I could do that. So I could go make that 25 bands and then I'm back.
25 G's?
Yeah. And then I'm back doing what I got to do.
Oh, wow.
So
That's good
it
money.
works out right now. Yeah.
I mean, 25, if you're making 25 grand a weekend, you could do 2 weekends and be straight.
Now that ain't every weekend now. That's when it comes because comedy clubs they put people in rotation. So they might book you at this comedy club twice a year. And they might book you at this other comedy club once a year. They might book you here once a year. So when you have an agent or manager, they kind of just set that up for you. So okay, we're gonna get you here. We're gonna have your schedule booked out for the year. So this is how much you're going to make, and then you could do your side shit. You know, if you how you see it to add to that what they're already bringing, and they take their cut, and then that's kind of how that works.
But so now when you getting booked, I always thought it was cool for like artists, whether singers, rappers, comedians, to be able to recycle jokes and just keep making money off the same joke. At what point is it time to like, all right, you know, because I've seen artists perform, or I've seen comedians perform, and I'm like, yo, you saying the same joke? It's still funny,
Mm.
but at what point do you say, all right, it's time for me to recycle this joke, or I can't tell this joke no more?
Well, that's not cool, man. Let's say you my homie, right? You my homie, you support me, you come to my show, right? You come see my show, I kill it. You want to come to another show. I don't care if it's in a whole other city and none of these other people have seen. The fact that I know you gonna be there and you seen these jokes, I'm gonna want to do different jokes. That's just me. Now somebody's seeing you 20 times a year and you doing like 45 minutes on stage. Well, yeah, they gonna hear some of the same shit. But you want to make the experience different as much as possible for the people supporting you. This ain't like music. Like if you go see Ho, you might want to hear H to. You don't mind hearing H to the Izzo. You know the words.
Yeah, yeah,
But comedy
yeah.
is different because a lot of comedy is the whole element of surprise. Like, what is this guy gonna say?
But what about so like when I how like around like New Year's, man, you'll hear on the radio they got these New Year's comedy special, and then they be dropping the jokes that are gonna be said, and it's like you get to the show, they saying like them exact same jokes.
Well, that's not what they supposed to do. They supposed to use some old Def Jam clips from like the '90s. Like, remember this joke? And then you come to the show and there's new jokes.
Yeah,
But some comics don't mind, just riding off their old stuff. But it's, to each his
yeah.
own. Me, I like to keep it fresh. If I know I ain't got no new stuff, I don't even really want to be doing a whole bunch of shows and doing my same jokes. Like a lot of the times, what excites me about performing and doing a show is the fact that, man, I got some new shit. I know they ain't heard, and I know it's funny. They be like, "Oh, damn, you talking about the quarantine?" Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you go to a comedy show now, you might want to hear some jokes about the quarantine, the riots, the election, because it's present. You know what I'm saying? You might want to hear that type of material. You don't want to hear nothing you heard before. You know what I'm saying? So I try to keep it fresh as much as possible.
And I noticed in your bio, man, you got not just comedian, but you got writer in there. Are there other things that you plan on doing? You just mentioned have been a jack of all trades. Like what else?
Oh, bro,
What are some things you got going on?
I got a lot of stuff, man. I got scripts, man. It's crazy, man. I got scripts, but right now I'm in the pitching game. So we got Rallo reviews. That's for the people. That's because I want the people to enjoy their stay in the crib. So that's a passion project. I also got comics on the couch playing video games, where I bridge my love of video games with some of the funniest people I think are in, the city. So I bring a comedian on, we play a game and I kind of just talk shop with them. So those are like my two shows that I'm doing right now. And I'm bringing back Hotep Holla. Hotep Holla podcast is
What's
coming
that?
back. Hotep, son, I feel like the word Hotep has been bastardized and has taken such a nasty meaning, and I want to get it back to the original meaning to be, a spreader of peace, to be at peace within yourself. But now you hear Hotep and all, it's got a homophobic connotation to it. It has an oppressive energy towards black women to it. It got all these negative connotations, and that's not even the meaning. I'm trying to uplift. So I got a couple episodes of Hotep Holla out on SoundCloud and Spotify and iTunes. So check out Hotep Holla, man. We talk about a lot of stuff. We talk about Kamala Harris. We talk about her running, the split in the black community. Have the black community like, man, she went to Howard, she had AKA And the other half, like, man, she was locking niggas up. So we got that whole, but we got to come together, man. We could disagree, we could agree to disagree and not hate each other.
What you think about, speaking of politics, the brother that went to Howard that spoke at the Republican convention,
I
uh,
heard about that.
Jerron.
Yeah.
I posted him on the Howard alumni thing just because, to create dialogue. People was mad at me
They
for
were
I
because he's a.
I didn't even say like go vote for Trump. I just said, this is who this guy is. He went to Howard. Um, like you talked about how people get offended in birth of a troll, but people were literally mad at me
Of course, they were.
for posting him, saying we got to petition this account,
Wow,
coming at
for real?
yeah, oh yeah, coming at me. I had to block a lot of people, man, from then people start sending messages to my personal account,
So hold
you
up, when you
know,
posted it, what was the caption under the post?
Howard alumni. That
Look at
was it.
that.
That was the hashtag Howard alumni.
That's crazy.
And then I put the word thoughts in the question mark. Like, what are your thoughts? Why are you glorifying? Like, it was like, damn.
Glorifying. See, people
But I
got
post Kamala too.
and
You
it was
know,
different energy.
oh man, energy was crazy. And I get a few DMs about Kamala. She don't claim to be black, but it might be two people. It was nothing. But I get thousands of likes for him. It was like,
It's different.
people went crazy. But I'm
Different.
like, yo, he the highest ranking black person in the Trump White House,
I
and he
did.
went to Howard. Yeah, and
Wow.
he went to Howard with me. He was in the Young Republicans Club when we was at Howard. The
So
whole nine.
this ain't new
Right,
then.
it ain't new. It's right. He where he supposed to be in his career. So, but it just taught me a lesson. Like, man, people take stuff personal. You know what I'm
Bro,
saying?
people take social media personal. I ain't know you got that type of energy, bro. Like
Yeah.
me, I'm indifferent. I'm not into politics. I just know what's on the surface. So when the Kamala thing got announced, I was like, I mean, that's what's up. I don't know her politics. I know she was DA. I don't know her arrest record. If I got jammed up and Kamala is overseeing my case, am I gonna feel comfortable? I don't know. I think she would have locked the nigga up. So I feel like she would have locked the nigga. Like it's just a vibe, man. People go on vibe. So when Kamala was presented to the people, they got a vibe. A lot of people was like, I don't fuck with her. District attorney. Other people was like, AKA Howard's sister. I'm supporting. So a lot of it is superficial. Same thing with Obama. Obama came through. It was like, okay, where this guy come from? But he black. He going for president. Got a black wife. I'm with him. Obama don't got a black wife. The energy wouldn't have been the same. It
Right.
wouldn't have been the same without Michelle. So a lot of it is we just got to accept that a lot of this energy and how we feel about shit is superficial, man. So it's like I don't understand how people get so touched because this
Oh yeah.
person ain't rocking with Kamala or this person ain't rocking with what's the brother name?
Jerron.
Jerron. Like it's
Yeah.
superficial. You don't even know. You don't know the
Yeah.
inner workings.
Welcome to the Go Fish Village podcast. As a Chinese proverb says, give a man a fish and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and you feed him for a lifetime. At Go Fish, our goal is to teach individuals just like you how to build wealth through real estate. How do you feel, man, when you tell a joke, man, and it's well received, like that energy?
And that should feel good, man. I feel like $1,000,000. And it took some time to get to this place in my career where I could just get on stage and dominate. It wasn't always that way. If you looked at my first shows on YouTube, it's a different energy. Like that's why stuff just takes time. You gotta give yourself room to grow and evolve professionally, emotionally, in all aspects of life.
Yeah.
Give yourself time to grow, man. Give yourself time to grow and try not to, make mistakes deliberately.
Were you would you consider yourself good at the business of comedy?
I could be better. Everything is energy, right? I could say, okay, I'm gonna take a step back creatively, and I'm gonna put energy towards the business side, right? I could do that, and it may be lucrative, but for me, creatively is just I have to have that high at all times. It has to be high. Now,
But
when
what if what if you was to say, you know what, I'm gonna just focus on the creative side and I'm gonna get a manager and get this person 20%. You know what I'm
that,
saying?
that could work. That could work if we sit down and it makes sense. Because I like even with my podcast, like I would pay people to record and edit just because I didn't want to do that shit. Because I gotta say, what movie am I watching this week? Or I'm producing this video game show. I'm doing this sketch. You know what I'm saying? So if I had a meeting with a person and it sounded good and it made sense and they were like, okay, well, I'm gonna ask for 20, but I'm bringing you this, and I'm like, okay, well, that could work.
What advice would you give somebody right now that's coming into Howard, like the 18-year-old
Shit,
Rallo coming
question.
into Howard?
Man, that's tough, man. Because you first of all, you gonna want to get at all the sisters in there, because this is going you loop they done set you loose around all this ass and pretty face and titties. You as a young black man, it's going to throw you off. So that first year or two, you trying to get your mind right. So I would tell them as much as possible. Um, if you don't know what you want to do, like career wise, really sit down and figure out what degree is going to be easiest for you with your skill set to complete and is going to yield you the most financial gain. That's what I tell them. And really like get a strict calendar now. Get a strict calendar down. And if you have trouble getting up early, get you a coffee maker or an Adderall Connect. Like I would tell them that because these are the things you need to know. Because if you're sleepy, you're not going to retain the information. So you got to figure a way around that. That's the advice I would give.
And that early in college is different than early in high school.
It's
You know
very
what I'm saying?
it's
I
different.
remember I had an 8 a.m. class or a 9 a.m. class. That shit was a struggle
Like
getting to that class.
I had a 6 a.m.
Damn.
I knew it wasn't possible, but I signed it. I signed up for it anyway. I was like, this ain't gonna work. It ain't no way it's gonna work. Listen, man, time management is probably the most important skill to have at a university.
Damn.
Time management and self control.
Man, what do you think about, man, when people say, why go to a HBCU? You could go to a PWI, it's more resources, the world is not black.
Woo,
What's your response to that?
that's tough. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, it's priorities. It really comes down to priorities. There are you can listen. You can make the most out of any situation, right? There are people I know that went to Howard, which is not a PWI. It's not a macrocosm of the world at large. It isn't. But they made it work for them because they were diligent. They managed their time. They networked. If you're a people's person, that's probably one of the best skills or traits to possess. That'll just further you wherever you are. Um, So I tell them you got to make the most of any situation. You're not just going. First of all, you're not going to just any black university. You're going to the Howard University. So if there was ever a black university to attend, you're going to the one to attend. So if you can't make the most of that, then I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. But everything has to be deliberate, man. Everything has to be deliberate. You could get the most out of your experience at Howard if you're moving correctly. Just like if you go to a PWI, that's not automatic. You're not just going to thrive because you're around white people,
Yeah,
flat
that's
out.
facts.
So you gotta make the most of any situation. That's what I tell them.
So what are some of the goals you have for yourself?
Oh man, that's a good question, man. I'm branding right now. This is a branding. I just want to be I've grown past stand up comedy, bro. I'm good at it. That's just what it is. I'm good at telling jokes. Now it's about the other stuff. It's about producing. It's about producing these shows and collaboration and building a fruitful network. So that's my goal. So when I step about there, the Rallo Boykins brand is going to be so powerful and it's going to be synonymous with Rallo reviews, which will become the standard of black movie reviews. Like when I give you a review, you're gonna know as a person you're gonna enjoy it or you're not gonna enjoy it. That's what I'm working to. That's what I'm working towards. That comics on the couch playing video games. That's another passion project. But I love the interaction, man. I had some great interaction with some people during this quarantine. Um, Shout out to Nanotech Air Mask. We got the sponsor for that. Um, and then just to be a juggernaut in the stand up comedy game, man. Birth of a Troll, the reception was amazing, man. Shout out to everybody who streamed it, bought it. And then when I dropped a special post quarantine, that's gonna be another banger. I'm working on that. But independent
Wait,
ownership.
what's it's called? It's called post quarantine.
No, the name I can't drop
Oh,
the name yet. The name ain't etched in stone, but it's gonna be visual. So I dropped the audio album. This one's gonna be visual. But ownership, bro. Ownership. That's all. That's all, man. I don't want to just take the bag just to have the bag and then I'm a slave within my own craft. I don't want to be a slave within my own craft, bro. I want to keep having the ability to move freely and comfortably.
so if somebody wants to check your workout, how would they do that?
Oh, RalloBoykins.com, baby. We on there. We got the website. Listen, RalloBoykins.com. But honestly, I live a lot through Instagram. Or you go on Instagram, you catch the Rallo reviews. You can catch what shows I have coming up. I've been doing a lot of outdoor shows during the quarantine. They're doing a lot of dope stuff in the parks, curbside comedy shows, all that good stuff. Hotel Holler coming back out, man. Cause listen, we're gonna rebrand it, man, and bring it back to its original meaning. So I got a lot of dope projects in the works, man. And this has been dope, man. I appreciate, sitting down and talking to you, bro. Like this was cool. I'll be seeing your page and I appreciate the reposts and the shares. And I know they came down on you for posting that, brother, man, but you ain't deserve that, bro. You ain't deserve
No,
it.
it's all good. And so I mean, they say heavy is the head that wears the crown, man. So I take it in stride, but it was just a lesson. Like it's a responsibility when you get to a certain point. People look at you for leadership, and when you disappoint them, everybody on the internet got an opinion, man. And that's what it boils down to.
That's
So
true,
I
man.
will I will hit that block button. I'll say, you know what, this is what this function is for. Block.
For real, man, you gotta get that energy out of there. And now look, they got ahead of themselves, and now they done lost access to HU move makers. But
Right.
was it worth
Yeah.
it? You had so many good experiences. You get ahead of yourself one time, and now look,
Yeah.
no
Right.
access. But that's it.
Yeah.
Sometimes people gotta learn the hard way, brother.
Yeah, man. So I mean, at this point, what we do, um, we have a little trivia, man. Little
Oh,
Howard trivia
oh shit.
that we like to ask.
This is gonna
Little
be.
Howard trivia. See what you know about the school.
Is it multiple choice?
Nah, man. It's just
Oh,
but it's easy questions, man. It's not tough at all.
all right.
So the first question, Howard trivia.
Okay.
What year was Howard founded?
1864.
No.
Damn it, it's not 18.
1867.
It's 67?
18. Yeah.
Okay, I wasn't that far off. I wasn't that far off. I was close.
Uh, you was close, bro. You was 3 years. You was early. You was before your time.
Damn it.
What
I see the 1 and the 8 and the 6 in my mind. It popped up. I should have closed my eyes. That's why I got it wrong. I didn't close my eyes. All right, what's the next one?
next question is what's the Howard motto?
God, The motto is it HU, you know? Is it HU?
Hell no,
Yeah,
man.
what's
It's
the motto? Let me
it's
see if I can do it.
it's truth and service.
Oh yeah, I wasn't gonna know that. That was a freshman orientation too. I had to take that twice. I kept sleeping in there. Yep, that was an orientation.
Hey,
That was
you
an
crazy?
orientation
You said
question.
you had to take it twice.
I did have to take. Man, that shit was hard, man. You had to.
That was a joint that was 1 day a week, right?
I believe it was 1 day a week.
Yeah, I think that was the early class I had. It was the only early class. It was 9 a.m. and I remember because when you were a freshman, man, I stayed in Drew.
Oh, you
And
was in Drew.
I think every night all we did was stay up late and talk about who was the baddest girls
Man,
at at Howard, dog.
yeah,
We stayed up late as hell.
that shit is crazy.
Yeah, that's all we had a chalkboard ranking them. It was pretty savage,
Y'all
but
had a chalk. Yo, that's crazy, man.
yeah,
Things
dog. That's
never change. That's
niggas was
crazy.
voting. Niggas was voting like, all right, for this, all those who approved, like it was literally like that. You know what I'm saying? Shit's funny, bro. Shit's
It's
funny.
hilarious, man. Oh, how?
Um, um, what is the body of water located closest to Howard?
Damn. Isn't it the reservoir?
There you go. You got one on the board.
Goddamn
You
right,
got
man.
one on the board.
That, man. Yes.
Name the halls that are located in the quad.
In the quadrangle?
Yeah, the quadrangle.
Wait. No, that's Bethune Cookman. That's a whole other dorm. Okay. Damn, man. You gotta give me one to draw. Florida Evans. Is that one of them?
No,
Okay, no, no,
no.
no.
You got Crandall,
Oh yes, it's Crandall. It's Fraser.
Fraser. There you go.
Oh, Fraser's one. I knew it. Okay, is okay. Girl, I stay in. Girl, I'm in Fraser. No, I'm in.
Tubman,
Tubman. Them
Wheatley,
Tubs. You said which one?
Wheatley,
Oh, I wasn't gonna get Wheatley. I wasn't.
and, and Truth.
In truth, yeah, I wasn't gonna get Fraser though. I remember Fraser.
Spell Crampton.
Oh, this is a trick one because people be fucking up. Oh, I know, yeah. All right, Crampton Auditorium is CRM. No, I'm not. I didn't mean that. CRAMTON. There's no P.
There you go. No P. No P.
All right, man. I'm not playing tonight. 2 for 7.
What? Finish this sentence. 2 for 7.
2 for 7.
Uh, reared against the eastern sky.
Is this the Howard anthem? What you say?
Finish that. Finish that. That's a
What is
school
it?
song, man.
Eastern Sky?
Reared against the eastern sky. Finish that sentence.
Fly by night and fly. You said this was easy, man. This is difficult. Come on.
Oh my gosh.
What is it?
Reared against the eastern sky, proudly there on Hilltop High.
Oh, I wasn't gonna get that, brother. You know this was years ago, but I said 05. You gotta
What
ask.
is
Okay.
what's the black national anthem?
Oh, this lift every voice and sing. Come on, man. Give a brother freebie, brother. That's what I'm talking
Okay.
about.
Who's the president of Howard?
Right now?
Yeah.
Come on. No, we just had the dude that left. Okay, when I was there, it was Rabo. Rabo was there when I was there, but then Rabo, I don't know if he left or he got pushed out. So after Rabo, I think his name was Fred.
Frederick. There you
Frederick,
go.
right?
Wayne Frederick. There you go.
Yes.
Who was Howard named after?
Oh, that's a good question. No, Howard is named after. Oh, I think my computer froze. Howard. Hold up. You said how? Yeah. You know about?
Oh man,
You know they have rechanged it.
you said they rechanged it.
Because you know at first. Nah, Howard. No,
Oh man,
you
you
said
can't
like
look up the answer.
no. You talking about? What you talking about? Douglas Hall or like the whole school?
Howard University, man. It was named after.
General Otis Howard.
There you go. There
Look
you
at
go,
that.
bruh. There you go.
We making
General Oliver Otis Howard. There we
hell
go.
yeah. General Oliver Otis.
All right, now we got rapid fire. So rapid fire, whatever I say, man, I'm gonna say a phrase or a question, and you just got to say the first thing that comes to mind.
All right.
All right. First one is homecoming better as a student or as an alum?
Student.
Um, best Howard moment.
My first Howard comedy show, man. Howard Homecoming Comedy Show. Oh wait. Legendary, man.
Howard men don't cheat.
Facts.
Tyrone and
Hankerson.
financial aid.
Hankerson. Oh, hold up. Money, 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 money.
You got to start one, bench one, or cut one. You got freshman orientation, homecoming, and graduation.
Damn, graduation. You gotta start graduation. You gotta start graduation. So you said I got it start bench and what?
Cut.
Fuck. Okay, we're gonna start graduation, man, because that's graduation, man. Have you seen people that ain't graduate? It's sad, man. It's like you stuck in purgatory. It's man, listen. So we're gonna start graduation. Homecoming ain't the same, man. So I guess you bench homecoming and you cut orientation.
What's your biggest Howard regret?
Not minoring in graphic design.
Okay. When did you find your voice?
2008, man. 2008, I took a leap of faith, man, and it changed my life. 2008, junior year.
U Street or Adams Morgan?
U Street, man.
Tailgate or Yard Fest?
Tailgate.
If you weren't a comedian, what would you be doing?
Get my master's. Well, I would already had my master's.
Start one, bench one, or cut one. You got Ho Chi, Cluck You, China Wonder.
Fuck. I miss Cluck You, man. So I gotta start Cluck You just for the what's the just for I miss Cluck You. Do they even have Cluck You anymore? Just for the nostalgia. Start
I
Cluck
don't know, bro.
Start
Cluck You
Cluck
used to
You.
hit.
Man, with the honey, that's when they was using the real honey, not that bullshit they using the sugar. I don't know what it is. We're gonna start Cluck You. Damn. We gotta I guess we're gonna bench Ho Chi and then we're gonna cut China Wonder. Ho Chi had
Who
that sauce, man, even though it's good.
who you know or what you know?
Oh, who you know?
Worst advice.
Damn. Cut class. Okay.
Hardest part of being Rallo.
The grind.
The grind.
The grind, man. It's crazy, man. It's time.
Rallo, man, you've been a great guest, bruh.
Bro, I had a good time, bro. It's good to put a face to the IG. It was good now, but like every time, all right, that's my man. That's my man on the behind the page, man. That's my guy. So nah, it was cool, man. I appreciate you having me, man. I appreciate the support. 100%.
Oh, bro, for sure, man. I'm expecting big things, man, in the coming year, bro. You done had the pandemic to kind of be at the crib and be creative, man. But once we come out of this, man, I'm looking for some big things from you.
Hey, you already know, man. Listen, man. Till the wheels fall off, bro. We got one life to live, and I ain't got that many distractions right now. So expect more things to come, bigger things, greater things, and just spreading the light, man.
Absolutely, bro. Well, man, thanks for coming on the show. If you need something, definitely let me know, man.
No, most definitely, man. Hopefully we could collab on something, or I'm not sure what else you have going on, but man, keep me abreast your endeavors as well, man. I love to reciprocate the support.
Thank you for joining the HU Movemaker podcast, where we highlight folks that have contributed to the Howard legacy at the highest levels. To hear more interviews or purchase merchandise, please visit www.humovemakers.com.